Being African is expensive, and I don't mean that in terms of paying rent or buying food. Take for instance, sending money home. If you and I send money home right now, and one person send their own to Nigeria, while the other person send their own to India, the Nigerian family will pay almost 2 times what the Indian person will pay to receive the same amount of money. The average cost of sending money to Sub-Saharan Africa is over 8%. Meanwhile, in South Asia, it's less than 5%. But why? Banks and money transfer companies will tell you that it's because sending money to Africa is riskier. But what exactly does riskier mean? They'll tell you that compliance costs are higher and anti-money laundering checks are more expensive in this part of the world. But the question we should be asking is, why is the world's poorest customer paying more than everybody else? What's even more worrying is that remittances to Africa is not just money. It is hospital bills, house rent, school fees, money that is essential for day-to-day survival. That's the money that extra charges are being levied on. In so many African countries, remittances are the lifeblood of the economy. Without it, so many African countries will fail in just a matter of months. What's even more heartbreaking is that this is not just about remittances. It's about how Africa is treated globally. When Africans go to international markets to borrow money, we are made to pay some of the highest interest rates ever. Between 2020 and 2024, African Eurobond yield averaged close to 10%. At the very same time, some other countries were borrowing for less than 1%. Same financial markets, same investors, but different prices for African countries. They actually have a name for this. They call it the African Risk Premium. And this happens because investors lump all 55 countries together. So if something happens somewhere, maybe a coup or a war or something, the premium on the entire continent increases. How is that fair? This thing was so bad that at some point, some countries were using up to 127% of their revenue to service debt. Today, as I speak to you, about 30 African countries spend more money repaying loans than they spend on healthcare. And because many of these countries need the loans to keep going, they borrow even more, and the interest keep accumulating and accumulating until it becomes a problem. Every year, Africans lose about $1.4 billion to being overcharged for loans. That's money that should actually go into building our tomorrow. Don't even get me started on how IMF and World Bank made African governments implement policies that ended up killing entire industries, all in the name of the conditions under which they were giving loans. To be honest, Africa has serious governance issues. There's no denying that. But that is not enough reason to keep charging us more for everything.